Hi everyone and welcome back to the OPDA. I'm very excited to share the results of our first ever consumer survey with you today. We found so many published reports that told us how difficult and stressful customers find the home buying and home selling process, but we wanted to know a bit more. So we launched our first ever survey towards the end of 2024 and then published the results early in 2025. We used an independent research company and had over 5,300 responses to tell us what you experienced during your home buying transaction and how it felt when you were dealing with various parties involved. But we also asked you about attitudes to digital, including sharing your property data. If you'd like to read the full report, you can download it for free from our website on openpropdata.org.uk/report. So what did we find? Over 40% of people said that communication between stakeholders was the most challenging aspect of the process. Over 45% anticipated it would take between 1 to 2 months to exchange contracts, but in reality, 62% of transactions took more than 3 months. And a huge 82.2% of you thought that digital property packs were a good idea, and almost 77% would have used one if it had been available when you were buying or selling your home. The number of times and how information was shared throughout the process was a real issue, 62% having to provide the same information at least 2 to 3 times. Chasing for updates to find out what was happening and when you'd be able to complete was a big frustration for almost 40%, leaving people feeling very uncertain. The time taken between having an offer accepted and exchanging contracts was a surprise to almost half of respondents, and a poor 16% of you had to wait more than 6 months to get to exchange. If you've watched any of our earlier videos, you'll know that OPDA is a huge fan of data and digital standards, but even we were surprised at how much customers believed they could help to improve the home buying experience too. The survey respondents ranged from age 18 to over 75 and covered a real mix of first-time buyers, home movers, and people looking to downsize, and from all parts of the UK. So having more than 82% of you say that digital property packs were a good idea was incredible. It's no surprise that security, trust, and better transparency were the top priorities. But it was a bit disconcerting to find that 92% of you believed that property data was already digitised to some extent. In reality, less than 1% of our property data is truly digital today, and we still need to deliver the trust and governance structure to make sure that property data is easy and safe to share. The call for government to take a lead in driving home buying transformation didn't go unnoticed. Not long after our survey was published, there were a whole raft of announcements on digitising data, research into common standards, and how trust frameworks will underpin a smart data economy. These are the cornerstones of the industrial strategy, driving economic growth and delivering better services for consumers. So we're delighted that our first ever survey represented the views of so many people, and it was picked up and supported by a huge number of publications and property market influencers, including Phil Spencer at MoveIQ. So massive thanks to everyone who was involved. We really do appreciate it. Let us know what you thought of the survey, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.